Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about why TikTok stores / shops are outperforming Shopify stores and Amazon storefronts in today's environment, economy, whatever you want to say. So, if you don't know anything about TikTok shops you can actually run a whole e-commerce business just off of TikTok now. You don't need a separate domain where you run a e-commerce platform like Shopify, like WooCommerce, whatever. It's similar to how Amazon helps people run e-commerce businesses without actually having to have their own website, but it's not exactly the same thing because Amazon, if you sell on Amazon, you're basically Amazon's contractor. You're selling on yes, you actually have to deal with, selling to the customers yourself technically, but it's really Amazon's customers. TikTok, they're not in the business of dealing with customers. They give you a platform that you can run videos on, and so it's not really like Amazon. It's like, and if you really want to sum it up, it's like a halfway point between running a Shopify store and having an Amazon store. You kind of have everything kind of done for you in a way, but you still aren't having everything controlled for you, because with everything done for you comes the control, like Amazon. So, respectively, what you're going to basically find in the future is this whole trend is going to become more and more popular. You can see this trend's already started. It's only going to get more and more so that people are going to not be running Shopify stores to run an e-commerce business. Why? Because as long as you have good video to advertise a product or service, or should I say product, that's already enough. You don't need an entire e-commerce website. You can get people, you can send them a PayPal link and they'll just buy, which you can take orders directly through TikTok with the TikTok stores / shops itself. And so, but that's just a continuation or a part of a broader trend, which is video marketing is taking over everything. People don't want to just see a simple image or two of a product. They want to see video content, and they want to see rich video content. Customers using the products, demonstrations of that product. So with that said, you can see like even in third-party e-commerce sites like Shopee, different sites like this, their stock price is going down. They're losing market share to TikTok because there's less fees, less control over their business, and it focuses on the important thing, which is the video, which is what everybody wants to see when they buy a product. They want to see video upon video upon video of that product in every way, in every angle. And if you have that, none of the other stuff really matters. So with that said, if you're stuck in the 2010 way of doing business and driving traffic to a fairly static product page on your website, you're asking just to be replaced at some point by somebody else in your market that is going to focus on product pages that are adaptable. You're constantly updating those product pages with more video, more images, more content. The better you describe the items that you have, the more content you have, the more sales you're going to get, and that takes sales away from everybody else in the market. What most people I see people do at our advertising firm, and I deal with hundreds of people, most people that are trying to do e-commerce, they'll have too many products and too little merchandising. Meaning, their focus is on, okay, we're making good money with these 50 products, let's do another 50. Okay, let's do another 50. And they're just scratching the surface in terms of what they can get from the 50 items that they're already selling, because they basically have no content on those product pages. They have like a few images, 2, 3, 4 images, no video, and just some text on a screen, and that doesn't sell nearly as well as it used to. Back in 2010, you could get by with that and do fairly well. In today's environment, the person who adds not 5 images, but 30 images and 3 videos, and when you leave the site, you're going to get hit with 15 different video ads that go over different comparisons of the product that you have versus the competitor's product and different use cases of how you can use the product. That's what's going to ultimately sell, and that's what people are going to go and who they're going to do business with. So in other words, you're much better off having less items and dumping more actual time and money into those product descriptions, pictures, content, so on and so forth, particularly video content, because that's what works the best. It's what's hot, and it's going to continue to be hot because you're able to convey more information in a shorter period of time with video. You should do that versus trying to sell more items. And if you're selling a bunch of items and you're not doing well, what I recommend you do is pick one top item and just promote and get tons and tons of content on that item and drive traffic to just that item, because it's going to increase your conversion rates a whole hell of a lot, probably at least double it. And then you are profitable. Then you can start doing that to the second item, the third item. So where people go wrong is they say, oh, it's too expensive to do video for all my products. Well, yes, it is, because you're not making any money. But you're not making any money because there's no video content. So you should take the items that you're selling down to a few, do the proper video reviews of that product, make the real money that you should be making, and then reinvest that into more video content for other items once you've already video reviewed that product from every angle, and you really can't think of any way to review it anymore. So, and when I say video content, you definitely want, if you're running Shopify, by the way, you want to run extra thumbnails with video there, and then on the product description down below, tons more video. Why? Because that's a differentiation point now all in itself. Because so few people want to invest in video. They don't know how to do video to start with most of the time, at least well, to where they can capture someone's attention for a whole couple minutes in terms of the right video shooting, the right editing. But respectively, most people don't even have video at all because it's expensive to produce. To make a good product demonstration video, if you're clueless how to make videos in-house and you have to hire a firm, you're going to get charged several grand for one product video. And if you have 50 product videos, you're just not going to do it. So with that said, the more you sell, the more rich content your product pages should get on your website, as well as your investment into rich content. Namely, customer testimonial videos where customers are talking about their purchases of that product, and demonstration videos showing all the different ways that you can use your product. Because usually, for most products, there's not just one type of customer. Yes, you might have a tennis racket, but there's a person who buys a tennis racket for the reasons that they like lightweight tennis rackets, or they buy a certain tennis racket because they like the flex on the certain tennis racket because it excels in that area as well. And you cover videos, you have videos that cover different use cases. So you can have like an overall demonstration video, but you should also drill down and have several videos for each individual benefit feature of that product so they can see in detail on each individual one. Because ultimately, just put it, if you think about it, it's pretty simple. If a consumer is going to watch 6 or 7 videos at that level of a product, they're probably going to buy it at that point in time. They're going to know way more about it than any other product. Even if another product is better, you're going to get that sale because they're going to be more familiar with yours. And people don't buy if they're confused. So it doesn't matter how good the other product is. They're going to go with what they are more certain about, which is the product that has more content created for it. So with what I said, as you make money from adding content to a product page, you invest in more content, and you keep going until you cannot legitimately think of any other good content to put on the page. Doing things right, you should be having 15, 20 different unique pieces of content on every product page, either images, and when I say images, not just the image of the product, but infographics and or video to do if you really want to get the full conversion rate out of the traffic you're driving to your product page. That said, nowadays, you don't even need a Shopify store to run traffic and make money off of selling products online, because you can have a TikTok store or shop and you can just run some short video content about the product there and make a sale without any text content whatsoever. People are doing this. And you can literally drive your ad traffic to the TikTok store, which is why Shopify is in a predicament right now. Because if people start figuring this out, that they don't need to be paying no ridiculous fees to Shopify and they could just sell through a TikTok store and it's cheaper and it's easier, they're going to start doing that more and more and more. And at the very least, yes, I can understand you're not going to run a $15 million a year e-commerce business through a TikTok shop, even though you technically could. The people that are doing a few $100,000 a year are not going to be using Shopify as much because TikTok is has made it so easy to do business on that platform. And, they obviously offer the video hosting, which is the most important thing. You can also remarket. So when somebody, because if you're going to run Google ads, by the way, and you use Google Analytics, you can actually still have things set up to where if somebody clicks on an ad, you can remarket to that person. So even if they don't get to your website because you don't have a website or an owned property like a Shopify site, and you're sending them to a TikTok store, you can remarket to somebody who just clicked through the ad using a combination of Google Ads and Google Analytics. So you could also remarket to somebody if you were driving all your first click traffic to a Shopify store. So there's no drawback necessarily in terms of your advertising approach to send people to that TikTok store. So, and it has video, and the video is basically the main thing that's important anymore. So you can see here where the predicament lies with Shopify. Shopify is probably going to start seeing a slow, steady decline. Now, it's never going to bottom out because it's a very good product. Don't get me wrong. Shopify is awesome. And I recommend it to everybody who's going to run a decent-sized e-commerce store. But the smaller, their bread and butter, the guy that's going to try to, run a business online selling products, he's just going to go with the TikTok shop because it's more simple. And they cannot make enough money off of super big e-commerce stores by themselves. There's not enough of them. So you're going to see a decline in the users of Shopify because of this. But main thing to take away from this video here is video is where it's at in today's environment. If you can get good at video as an e-commerce brand, you'll do much better than anybody else in your space just doing video better. Truly speaking. And that applies if you are a direct-to-consumer brand where you're manufacturing the product and selling direct to the consumer through your website now, or to the consumer now, or if you're reselling somebody else's product. You could literally take somebody else's product because video is so powerful and it's so rare for somebody to do video content well, unless you're talking about products with massive, massive volume, therefore massive, massive revenue behind it. Just do the video reviews of that product and sell more of it than anybody else in that space because so few people are doing it and there's such a large demand for video by itself. So if there's anything you want to do that's going to move the needle more than anything for your e-commerce brand, I highly recommend figuring out how to do video. And the great thing about it is, even though it is difficult, your competition's probably not going to want to do it. What they want to do is quick throw some products on a website with some text on it. Probably, which is ridiculous. Nowadays, they want to use AI to write the description on top of it. A standard image on the site with a white background and sell. That shit is not going to cut it anymore. That's the way that you did business in 2010. Just figuring out how to do video right, even if you didn't have a Shopify site and you just went through TikTok, you're going to outsell the guy with the Shopify site without the video knowledge. Me personally, I'm going to run all that video on my product pages. I'm also going to run it on my remarketing strategy. So whether you go to YouTube or anywhere else online, I'm going to have my video ads pop up. Of course, in the other places online, the audio is not going to be playing by default, which you can do that through Google Display Network. Facebook ads, I'm going to make sure they see my other 15 videos if they landed on my product page to do the finish of the selling of that user on that particular product, because a lot of people aren't going to have the attention span to watch all 15 videos you made on that product, but you'll basically force them to over time if they're sprinkled out for the user on all the different websites that they might visit after they leave. So if you really want fantastic results and you're going to spend the time to make those videos, that's how to really cash out once you got that content. You'll notice and to prove out what I just said, by the way, Facebook ads, the best Facebook ads now, mostly always, for what we're selling, is going to be a video ad on Facebook. YouTube ads work really, really well, and they work like Facebook did in 2010 because of the competition level is less, because people don't know how to make good, effective video ads, and it's complicated and expensive. So this proves out what I was trying to say, basically, that everything is going to video. The people that win over the next 10 years are going to be people who figure out how to do video well and do it affordably. Because yes, anybody can go hire a high-end video firm, but you're not going to be able to afford to make 15 videos on a product because it'll cost you $100,000 worth of video content to do that. People who can figure out how to spend $500 on a video, shooting the base content, sending it to an overseas video editor, and slam stuff out for $500, and you can do a whole bank of content for like $5,000 for a product. Those people are going to win. They're going to win in a big way. So anyway, that is how TikTok stores and shops are going to outperform people with just at least the de facto Shopify and Amazon storefronts. Now, obviously, video, if you packed all that video onto your Amazon store or your Shopify store, it wouldn't necessarily have such a benefit with TikTok. TikTok is just winning because the people who have a TikTok store are kind of forced to focus on video, when in default or by default, that is what sells nowadays. So it's inadvertently the people who did the TikTok store focused on what works to sell nowadays. Whereas on Shopify, it's not obvious to focus on video, whereas you should. So with all that said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. You took away a lot of good information from this video. If you have any questions about anything I covered here today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad-related question that you like, and I'm going to try to use my 15 years of experience to try to put you on the right path with what you're doing as best as I can, just as a thank you for watching the channel. If you are going to subscribe to any channel here on YouTube or any information online about PPC or running ads online, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, as it's the information that you're going to get on this channel is going to come straight from the source on somebody who does just the ad strategy on several dozen ad accounts at any given time as my full-time job. You find a lot of other content, for instance, on YouTube here that it seems like that's what you're getting, but these people that sell you courses aren't doing this. They're pretending like they are, they ain't doing it, or they're running an agency, they're not getting their hands dirty, or basically they're getting third, fourth, fifth hand information from somebody. Very rarely is an actual ad strategist on YouTube telling you what they're finding in their full-time job, what's working and what's not working. This is exactly what you're getting on this channel, and I give it to you on a silver platter. Millions of dollars worth of ad research is given to you on this channel for free. So therefore, you want to subscribe to this channel, and you want to subscribe to it already right now. You can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where I have step-by-step advice on how to use specific strategies that will make you money with ads, as it does with our clients and as our go-tos. You can learn even more on the channel or on the blog. If you like the channel, you're going to love the blog as well. It's even more educational, even more useful for most people. With that said, I run an advertising agency. I mentioned that the name of it's Guaranteed PPC. We actually are different than all other ad agencies that you're going to be able to find that are going to run online ads for you and specialize in it, in that we do not charge our clients fees until we get you a certain minimum amount of results on your campaigns up front, in addition to what you had before. And when I say minimum results, I mean additional profit, not clicks, not impressions, none of that. So, and with that, the increase in profit you get would offset the fee that we eventually charge. So that we're literally kind of, if you will, paying ourselves through the additional profit we're going to provide your campaign. So the only catch is we got to know we can get great results with your stuff up front, and therefore don't take on just any client. But if you want to see if we can work together potentially, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'll be happy to look at your stuff at the very least and try to get you some estimates on how much we could actually lift your sales. If you're not looking to work with an ad agency per se directly, where that ad agency takes on all the work, gets you all the results, they're responsible for all that, you want to manage your own ads, but you want to shortcut your way to success, we have dozens, actually hundreds at this point in time, of actual ad templates that work for a number of different markets. Why? Because we've ran guaranteed PPC and had hundreds of clients now in the last 10 years. And so with that, if we worked in your space, whether that be plumbing or carpentry or whatever, if we ran a campaign in your space, gotten great results with it, you'd save yourself a lot of time and money and frustration just taking the template that we've developed for your space and just copy and paste all the results we've got, running ads in that space, campaigns, landing pages, all of it into your account and get the same results we have, of which we can tell you the results we got with that template up front before you ever purchased it from us in terms of cost per lead, ROAS ads, what have you. And so at the very least, you should reach out to us and see if we have already gotten results in your space before, because we sell those templates for a very reasonable fee, and you're going to sidestep a ton of work. And many times we spent millions of dollars with the ad spend to figure out already what works in your space already. So it would be dumb not to at least ask us if we've worked in your space before and get the winning versions of the ads that work in that space with all the testing that we did. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. We got people that use these templates to start other lead generation businesses, which is a very easy passive income business to get into if you're interested in that. Or people that want to get into e-commerce, start with one of our templates to sell a product that you can easily get from China. We've got bunches of those as well, and we've got people that have done that as well. So anyway, you can reach out to me about any of those other opportunities as well, but I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you got a lot of value from this video, and I hope to see you on the next video where we have another great strategy for you. See you later.